Hi, my name is Tisya, and today I'm going to be talking about my OCD journey and how therapy sessions have helped me to overcome it. So, the purpose for this documentary is to spread awareness about OCD and how it shouldn't be a taboo and how people can also talk about it openly. So, there are so many people who are unaware about OCD. OCD means Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, and people think that it's about cleaning or organizing things. But OCD is more than just cleaning or organizing things. When I was 9 years old, I developed a habit of washing my hands constantly, 5 times a day, 10 times a day, and it was irritating for me. I was annoyed by it. Even though I didn't feel like doing it, I still did it because I felt like someone in my brain was forcing me to do it. And if I didn't listen to it, then I would have gotten a bad day or bad luck or something bad would have happened to me. And it was like annoying and it wasn't easy for me to cope up with it. So when I was 11 years old, I developed a new habit of switching on and off the lights and opening and closing the door constantly. Whenever I used to leave the room, I used to switch on and off the lights constantly and open the door and close the door again, open, close, open, close. I felt like it was someone in my brain who was forcing me to do it, and if I didn't listen to it, it would say like I'll have bad luck if I didn't do this, and I would have a bad day if I didn't do this. And I got really scared. It was very annoying. It was very irritating for me. I used to even cry sometimes, ki I hope it doesn't happen, I hope it doesn't happen. I was very scared of it as well. And it wasn't really easy for me to cope up with it. I was unaware, like, what has happened to me and why is it telling me to do it and what has, like, is there something wrong with my brain or will it actually happen? And then I went to my mom. I told her these things that this troubles me a lot, and my parents got concerned about it, and it was very tough. I used to have problems with talking to people as well, with communication and socializing, and I had a fear of, like, talking to people. It was like I used to sit alone during lunchtime as well, and I constantly used to ask people, and I still do this, whether I was mean to them or if I was rude to them. So whenever I had or have a conversation with my friends, I I always think about my sentences or my words. I always rethink and I wonder if I was rude to them or not. So then whenever I just whenever I see them, I just ask them that whether I was mean to you or not. So here are some symptoms of what I used to do during my OCD journey. The first thing I used to do when I used to leave my room was switching on and off the lights like this. And the second thing I used to do was opening and closing the doors again and again, like this. And the third thing, and I still do this every single day, is whenever I have a conversation with my friends, and I always ask them, hey, when I had a conversation with you yesterday, was I mean to you?
Tisha was an emotional child, and I used to relate her over emotional being as the core of the anxieties she had. She was extremely disturbed due to the social alienation she was facing, and it was very difficult for her to focus on anything, be it academics or any activity.
um, Tisha has been suffering with certain behavioral issues, since early years, when she was in PYP, and those issues largely originated, from social alienation, issues, And then we took her to a therapist, and the therapist informed us that she is, she's suffering with OCD. So OCD is essentially obsessive compulsive, uh, disorder, wherein a person who's suffering with OCD, has, gets uncontrollable and repetitive thoughts, and they keep doing, things repetitively. And in case of Tisha also, she also sends me, messages when she feels anxiety, and she keeps checking with me if I'm rude to somebody, or what would somebody think about me? Did I say something wrong? So I think those thoughts are essentially the symptoms of OCD and anxiety. And I think we every time she sends me a text, I make sure I respond to her. I try and tell her that you should reason with OCD. Why, if she's saying something, why you should believe that, right? You should always rationalize. And I think with that, obviously things have started improving gradually. So yeah, I mean that's essentially the behavioral observation we have for Tisha.
My support teacher in school, she recommended me and my parents to go see a therapist so I could share her my concerns and what I've been going through in life and the symptoms and also what my brain has been telling me to do. So during our first conversation, I told her about what I've been going through and I shared everything with her. She told me something I was completely unaware about. I had OCD, and when I heard it, I was shocked and very scared. I asked her, "Is it a bad thing? Like, will something bad happen to me?" And that was the first time I ever heard about the word OCD. She said, "Nothing bad will happen to you, and there's nothing to be scared about it." So, because there are so many people who are going through OCD, so she told me some ways to cope up with it. She told me some ways to cope up with my overthinking, and she also guided me how to stop doing these symptoms. And I am still seeing a therapist, and she's still guiding me, and it has been like very helpful for me, and it's been easier for me to cope up with my OCD and my overthinking. And I stopped doing symptoms like switching on and off lights and opening and closing doors. However, I'm still trying to improve in asking people if I was rude to them.
Her counselor informed us that Tisha has OCD along with ADHD and it comes as a package, which was an eye opener for us. Tisha had a lot of anxiety issues and I could relate it to OCD that point of time. With the growing age, entering into puberty and the teenage, her anxieties were also growing. We really had to look for professional guidance to overcome these issues.
So when we actually got her admitted in Prometheus, during grade 7, so one of the ALS teachers actually had recommended us, our counselor, who could potentially help just overcome, the issues with OCD and anxiety. So we took her to the counselor, and and the counselor did her assessment, and then obviously she found out certain symptoms of OCD, and she gave her several exercises. So she obviously used to go to the counselor pretty much every week, and she was given a few exercises which she would do with us, right? So over a few months, we've seen significant improvement in Tisha, and she's been able to overcome her anxiety and OCD issues to a significant extent. So yeah, I think overall we're very happy with the the results she's been able to achieve with the help of the counselor.
Her therapist has helped her to overcome the initial symptoms which she had initially of switching off the lights or closing the door quite often. She has learned to control her emotions, regulate her temperament, and the anxieties she had regularly. She understands the difference between the real thoughts and the OCD. She knows that OCD lies and it is not the truth all the time. So she is learning the strategies and implementing them. She is happy and sharing her thoughts with her counselor, with us, with her teachers. She's very vocal about it, what her brain, and she knows that her brain says it is not right all the time, whatever her brain says. So she knows the difference, and I'm happy with the fact that I'm so relaxed that she has got the right support at the right time, and she's learning to understand that it is not a big deal to fight with OCD.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
Good.
So, there are a few questions. Like, one question I wanted to ask you is, so I think you know about my OCD journey and how I've been having overthinking symptoms a lot and how I've been having a lot of symptoms. So, so I wanted to know your perspective about how I have improved over the years I'm with you, and also how we can normalize the taboo of OCD which is in this world. And there are so many people who don't know about the verb OCD. OCD is known as cleaning, which is generally not true. And how we can normalize the OCD situation, and your perspective about what I've been going through in life.
So, like you, a lot of kids go through it, and generally it goes undiagnosed or unnoticed, and they don't generally end up getting help, and they just keep being anxious. You know how anxiety provoking OCD can be. With you, I don't want to share much because that is your right to share, not mine. Something which we both will agree on, that how earlier OCD used to be such a scary thing. And
Really scary.
yeah, very monstrous, right? And how you have grown and learned to now have a handle on it, right? And dispute it and not give in to it, and like we say, not feed cookies to it,
Yeah.
right? So that is the journey, even though it sounds simple to say, but you know how complicated and difficult it has been to learn.
Yes.
But it has been very important for you, for your growth, for you to understand yourself, for you to just be yourself in the day-to-day life and have an amazing life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it starts with small things, something as simple as friendships, people, doubts, fears, and it can actually take a form of anything, something as simple as, was I rude to somebody? To what if something bad happens to my family member or my friend or my loved one or my pet?
Yeah.
Or what if somebody doesn't like me? To what if I will flunk, or I will not get good grades, or I will not do well, and these are repetitive thoughts, and as you know, these thoughts just take so much time and space in your mind.
They do.
And it's so exhausting.
Exactly.
And it takes so much energy from the person that all their time is just, and the energy is just going into it.
Yeah.
Right? Remember how much time it has freed up once you know how to handle those
Yeah.
once you know how to work through it. And there's so many symptoms that you've overcome already,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's good.
So like since like therapy, according to me, therapy also helped me a lot to cope up with OCD. How do you think therapy can also help the others to cope up with it and normalize the taboo of OCD?
So, see, very similar to how it has helped you, the importance is to seek help, to understand that I am not feeling good. Okay? It doesn't matter if it is a label of OCD or not, but if you're not feeling good and it has been persistent for some time and it is coming in the way of your daily life, and you're not feeling great about yourself, you're not able to talk about it with someone, or you're finding it very difficult in day-to-day life, feeling irritated, angry, sad, or all of the above, or anxious, or random thoughts are coming to your mind and you don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
So therapy is always a great idea because your therapist is a neutral, objective person who's there to be there with you and help you through the journey,
Yeah.
right? And it's a safe space. You can be yourself. You can just say everything that is on your mind without being worried about, oh, maybe this person will not understand or judge. Because they will always understand.
Yeah.
Not judge at all.
Yeah.
So that is why therapy is great for kids. Always.
Thank you so much. Hi Samaya.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So there are two questions I wanted to ask you. Since you have done a personal project about OCD and you took interview of many people who have been struggling with mental disorders as well.
Yes.
So I think you're the right person to ask. So my first question is, have you ever heard of the term OCD before?
Yeah, I have heard about it like several times. It's Obsessive Compulsive Disorder.
Yeah.
So, I think oftentimes, this term is very widely used, like, oh, I have OCD because I can't, but I think that's wrong misinformation being spread.
So OCD is something even I am facing too. So this is the question I was struggling to think about. So how do I highlight my OCD journey in a documentary?
I think there's several stages of a journey, right? So you could just show the main challenges and how you overcame them through those steps. So when you thought you had OCD, how you tested for that, and what effect it had on your school life, your friends, and everything like that. And just giving your personal experience about everything will be really helpful to the audience. So yeah, and you could include visual stimuli, and you could give visual descriptions so people could relate to it. Because I think when people can physically see things, they relate to it more. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
So my next question is, who are the right people to get guidance from, and the right people who can help you, can understand you about your OCD journey, and who can tell you it's okay and it's not like a taboo.
Yeah, okay. So I think acceptance over just mental disorders themselves is a very integral part. I think to overcome that, you have to understand that everybody is different, right? And having OCD is not the end of the world. It's just something that you have which is different from other people. And while it might be perceived as a negative stigma sometimes, but you have to understand that there are a lot of positive sides also to having it. You're always organized, and a lot of good stuff also comes with the bad. So I think just accepting how you are and embracing your true self will be best for you. And always if you're thinking that you might have OCD, you should always seek out to professionals get help and just get tested on it, because I think actually like getting to know about you will help you to understand what your habits are, what your traits are. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Things which help me to cope up with my OCD are, so one is this little guy. He plays with me, he hugs me, and whenever I play with him, I forget about all the negativity and I think about positive things. And he makes me smile a lot. You can go now. So the next thing, which also keeps me comfortable, is my makeup table. I love doing makeup and it lowers down my stress level and I'm very comfortable doing it. Also, I love to hang out with my friends. I love to listen to music and also watch movies. So this was my OCD journey and how I coped up with it. A message for everyone is that we can share our concerns and we can share our OCD journey openly with everyone else. And OCD is something we should not be scared about, and OCD should not be a taboo. And if someone is going through OCD, they can talk to their parents about it, they can get some support as well, they can share their concerns, and people can also help others who are dealing with OCD, they can understand them as well. So I really hope this documentary helped people to understand about OCD, and thank you so much for watching.